They say that perfection doesn't exist, but I disagree. It does. This is it. The Ford AU Falcon, a rolling sculpture, an engineering masterpiece, a design that was so far ahead of its time, we still haven't caught up. But this isn't just any old AU. What started as a rough idea over 4 years ago has finally come to life. And after months of planning, parts hunting, test fitting, troubleshooting, and more trial and error than I'd care to admit, today I present to you the Ford Intech VCT Turbo. Welcome back to MotoringBox. I'm Sean McKellar and this is my AU Fairmont VCT Turbo. That's right, over the last couple of months we have done a full BA XR6 Turbo conversion on this thing. We've left the Intech alone, we have not barra swapped this car at all, that would be sacrilege. But we took all the other gear from a BA XR6 Turbo and bolted it straight to the Intech. Most of it fit 90% of the time. There was a little bit of customization required, but when you stand back and have a look at this thing, it looks like it was all meant to be there. This is that alternate universe where Ford gave us an AU VCT Turbo. So I'm not going to go over everything we've done here. The build videos are going to show you all of that, so do go through the playlist on the channel if you want to see what I've done and how I've actually gotten to this point. But we can finally drive it on the road. It's got an exhaust that was installed the other day. There are no leaks, there are no issues with it. From what I can tell, the engine starts, runs, drives really well, but it is on a base tune, so we need to take it easy today. But even so, I can still give you an indication. I can show you how it drives and how it sounds, and see if we can just dial it in a little bit better in the process. So let's hit the road and see how it goes. Now this thing has only gone for a few drives since it's been turbo converted. I have discovered a few little issues which we'll talk about in a second. But here we go, we have to be a little bit gentle as well, just because it is a fresh tune. I've done it myself. The Haltech can cover to a degree, but yeah, you still have to be careful. But already it's running really well. That was like 30% throttle. I think it was 1 pound of boost. So barely anything. We're out here at the Borrell Proving Ground, Ipswich's premier motorsports facility. Gets a thorough workout down here on a Thursday night. But yeah, perfect spot to sort of give a car a bit of a test drive once you've done something fairly majorly, mechanically to it. One of the issues I've discovered with this car is the gearbox shift logic is not ideal. It'll often kick down when you don't want it to. Like if you're in second gear doing about 40 and you floor it, you would hope it would stay in that gear and start building boost and take off, but sometimes it'll violently shift you back to first gear. It's kind of logic that you would want with a naturally aspirated engine, but also when you're on boost and it's trying to shift from first to second, it'll sometimes stutter, like it can't complete the shift unless you let off. So we'll do a sort of a mid-throttle run here and see how it goes. Here we go. So yeah, we're up to about 1 pound in first gear. In second, we got up to about 4, and you sort of heard that flutter as we backed off there as well. But yeah, I do have to kind of back off when I sense it's going to shift gears, otherwise it just doesn't shift properly. I do have a fix, I think, in the works for that, so you'll have to stay tuned. But yeah, it runs very well. It sounds awesome too. You got that little bit of dose. And this thing really gets up and moves, I tell ya. So at the moment, I have it set to a 6 pound boost target. On my IC7 here, I've got a really cool AU Falcon inspired design, but I have a little setting here which I can change from 6 pounds to 9 and to 12. We're just gonna leave it on 6 at the moment, just because, yeah, we're still getting this car up and running. See that shift? And yeah, it is holding the boost around 5 pounds. It probably would go up to 6 if I could just put the throttle down a bit more. but I'm worried if I put the throttle down a bit more, it's gonna start kicking down and doing silly things. So I am, kind of driving around those little issues at the moment. But yeah, it's really promising initially. Sounds good, sounds happy. And since this car's been running, there haven't really been any huge issues. There's no oil leaks, there's no coolant leaks. There were issues with the RPM signal dropping out. That was just settings in the Haltech. Hear that? So yeah, it's holding around 5 pounds. So I do have some boost settings like duty cycles on the turbo, on the wastegate I should say, that I can play around with. But yeah, the only way you can do that road tuning is by driving it and then pulling out the laptop and making changes and then driving it again and just seeing what happens. But yeah, it's really cool that it's happy. Just those little things, mainly the gearbox. If we can get some more line pressure on the shift, you can do that by manualizing the gearbox. There's like a shift kit's manualized controller for a BTR, I think would fix it. There are other options as well, which I'm investigating. But when it's on boost and the gearbox is not trying to shift, it's very happy. So that's a good sign. And yeah, I'm stoked because, I've done most of this conversion myself. We will go through soon, probably in the next video, all of the parts that I used, the cost, and more importantly, in total, what did it cost me? It is up there a little bit, but that is kind of the nature of this conversion. It's not like a really budget-conscious conversion. I didn't use a lot of second-hand parts. I sort of used a lot of quality gear as well, the Haltech and all the sensors and things. So, yeah. Brace yourself, it's not going to be cheap. But when I see what the engine bay looks like and how this thing drives, 2 pounds, 3 pounds, 4. Oh, she's shifting. She moves. And that's like, I'm not going over 50% throttle at the moment, because that's when the shenanigans happen with kickdowns on the gearbox. So yeah, that at half throttle, this thing flies. Crazy. So when I know in the back of my head how much this cost me. Was it worth it? Yes, it was worth it. When you consider you can pick up an AU Falcon for a couple of $1,000s these days, they're going up. Some of the turbo gear is a little bit expensive, but you end up with such a unique car. There are a few AU Falcon turbos on the road, but it's still not commonplace these days. So you really do shock quite a few people on the street when you sort of take off from the lights and they'll be thinking, well, that AU's got a bit of poke to it, a bit of go. And then when you let off and you hear that sort of that little dose, yeah, it's awesome. So cannot wait to get the gearbox logic sorted, get those shifts happening a little bit quicker. It just doesn't like it at the moment. And I don't want to push it because the gearbox in this does seem to be really good. I don't want to sort of wear it out or do any damage to it. And yeah, that's really the last issue that I have to deal with at the moment. Everything else, really happy. See if it'll stay in third for me. Yeah, you got to be careful. Drive around the shift shenanigans. So that's it, guys. I'm going to leave it here. You're going to see this car again in the near future, but it is on the road. It's driving almost like factory. It's only when you really get on it that yeah, the gearbox logic starts to fall over. But the Haltech is happy. The tune is happy. It's a fairly conservative tune. It's all about the ignition timing. If you dial too much timing into it to search for power, then you can start encountering knock. That's when you get pistons bending conrods and pistons out the side of the block and things like that. So the ignition map I've dialed in is very conservative, but it still goes like a shower of shit, even at 50% throttle, even at 5 pounds of boost. So very exciting. We are going to try and find someone to tune this a bit later as well, probably up to about 10 or 12 pounds. I'm not going to take it any further than that. I love this car too much. I do not want to grenade the engine in this. I want to keep it running as long as it can. So yeah, we are going to be keeping things fairly conservative, and also staying with the theme of this build, which was like a factory spec AU Fairmont Turbo. That's what we're going to be sticking with. So we're never going to be chasing huge power. But do stick around, subscribe to the channel. You're going to be seeing a lot more of this car soon. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. I'll see you very soon.